guys, thanks for joining me again here. It's your boy Tony Laurent, Muscle and Bone NYC. Once again, real glad you're here. Let's talk myofascial release, okay? Let's talk self-massage, and not just self-massage and making yourself feel good just by a light touch. I'm talking about the aggressive stuff that helps you to prevent injury and helps to relieve the pain and the soreness that your muscles feel after a real good, strong workout or a good, strong run, maybe some extra long walk, what have you. You have a bunch of different options at your disposal here, okay? I recommend that you use them progressively. As you become good with one, you progress to the next one and then to the next one. I'll use them in order that I think you might want to consider, all right? The first one is a regular roller. This one's orange. I don't believe this is the hardest option out of this particular trigger point company, but it's pretty good. It's a good starter tool for people who are new to self-myofascial release. By the way, the word fascia is a term that describes the sheath that surrounds muscle, and that sheath gets gnarly and gets knotted, and that creates a lot of tension and a lot of soreness. So what happens is it becomes like this. It pulls on your joints. It can alter your joint patterns or joint movements. What you want to do is roll on these things and actually press hard enough to make the fascia fibers like this smooth again. And this actually prevents injury, because when they're like this, you can have proper joint mechanics. When they're like this, things are happening that should not be happening in your joints. And that leads to injury. So this is actually a way to prevent injury. The next one is a rumble roller. As you can see, this has little spikes on it, but the spikes are rubber, so there is some give. This is a black one. The black is the hardest of this particular product line. There are harder versions out there but they're different products. You can actually have one made of PVC, and that's really hard. It's a pretty good way to get into your quads with the PVC, but with this one, this is pretty good for a number of different things, for your back, for pretty much everything. But this is still sort of in that beginner zone. As you progress, you can go to a softball. These round objects, these balls, are really, really good at being acute with the location. So the space that I'm hitting on this is this big, as opposed to this, which is this long and this wide. So you can really be acute and specific in the placement with a ball. Like I said, pec major, really good. Lay on your stomach, push into it. TFL, glute medius, really good for that. Another really acute one, the lacrosse ball. This thing will change your life. Very aggressive, very, very acute, but highly effective. This thing will really, really give you some release, some myofascial release, a lot of relief, but you have to go through some discomfort to get there. Like I said, go through these in the progression that I'm showing you, and you'll have really, really good results. So use the orange one or whatever. Use a regular foam roller for the first whatever number of weeks, and then go to the rumble roller, and then go to the softball, then go to this. And then consider getting one of these. This thing is really good. It's a peanut. It's two lacrosse balls taped together. I use this for my back. Primarily, I use it for the thoracic part of my back, the part that touches the rib cage. The rib cage wraps around and attaches to that portion of the spine. Really, really excellent tool for that area. It's pretty good for the lumbar region, the lower back too, but you got to be very, very careful when you're dealing with your lower back, because you don't have the same support. You don't have a spinal a rib cage to support it. So you got to be very, very careful when you're dealing with that lumbar spine. This sucker right here is extremely aggressive. This thing is a tiger tail, and you can use it on yourself. Typically, I see trainers using it on their clients. But if you use this thing on yourself, you can really go in there deep and you can get really, really good results using this thing on anywhere you can actually reach. One more tool that I've used in the past and had pretty good results is a golf ball. Now the golf ball I will use on the bottom of my foot. Now I had a bout of plantar fasciitis about 2 years ago, and that battle lasted me for the better part of a year, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. The injuries of plantar fasciitis typically come from your calf or from the connection between your hamstrings and your glutes. I kept on addressing the calf and couldn't figure it out until finally, bing, I saw online somewhere that, you know, that tie-in spot between the glute and the hamstring is a real contributor to the problem. So when I finally dealt with that, I was able to get rid of the problem. But this, when dealt with directly at the bottom of the foot, deals with temporary pain relief. It's a really, really effective tool. Small and acute, but very, very uncomfortable in the beginning. The more you do anything, the better you get at it. This is no different. All right, so let's use the first one. All right, the way you use a foam roller, I'm going to roll out my lats. Okay, I think everybody knows how to roll out their hamstrings and their calves. That's the one area I always see people using this on. Well, you want to use this on as many different spots in your body as possible. I'm going to use on my lats right now. The lats right here, that long muscle in the back. The way you want to use that is lay your body on top, the lateral part of your body on top of the foam roller. Angle your body at 45 degrees, okay? Then you want to raise your hips. You want to put all of your weight, you want to drive every single bit of your weight into this foam roller. Now at this point, the muscles are reacting. I'm feeling some tingling, and it's like, wow, what's going on? Initially, that shock, the muscle will tighten up, and then after about 20 seconds on a spot, the muscle begins to release. Still going to be discomfort. It's still going to feel some type of pain, but you hold it there for 20 or 30 seconds, and then you go to the next spot slowly. You find it, you hold it for another 20 or 30 seconds until that spot releases, and then you move. There's none of this up and down, okay? This is not that effective at all. You want to move on this thing slowly and very deliberately. This way you can actually identify those spots, and you can let your body do the work to allow them to release, all right? So we'll be going through these every few days or so. We'll be creating, I'll be showing you different ways to use all these different types of myofascial release tools. And they're very, very effective. You'll be spending a lot more time in the gym. You'll feel a lot better when you're at work, when you're sitting down. You'll feel a lot better when you're standing up after a squat exercise. You'll feel a lot better walking downstairs after a heck of a series of squats or squat thrusts or lunges, what have you. You use these tools, you are on a different path and a different trajectory to accomplishing your goals. So thanks again for joining me. I look forward to talking to you guys again soon, okay?